Hello everybody and welcome to Honor Thy Podcast. This is the weekly DCTV Arrowverse podcast where we discuss everything Arrowverse. I'm your host Declan McKinney. You may know me as the host of DCTV Talk, and with me as always is my co-host Dan McCance, otherwise known as Mule Kick Media.
Hey, we're all back now from our extended break, which we did originally record one last week, but to be honest, it was so dire for news that we honestly just thought, let's just not bother. Let's just wait till now when we actually have something to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of got about 15 minutes into recording last week's episode, and then we were just like, this is really forced. we were just like, yeah, we're really phoning this in, so let's just leave it. Especially because we knew this week we would have quite a big resurgence, and quite a big resurgence we have. There's not too much news, but the two pieces we have are rather big, so I guess that kind of makes up for him. And of course, The Flash is back. We finally have the return of The Flash going into Season 5. We have the season premiere, which we are now going to go back to our old format. When we first started this pod, we're going to be doing the review for The Flash Season 5, Episode 1. But before we get into that, we will dive into the news. So we got the final trailer for Arrow Season 7. We got the sizzle, which we've been all deeply anticipating. And this was a pretty fantastic trailer on the whole.
It was all. I just remember the entire of when did the trailer come out? Was it Monday that it got released? Yeah, I just spent the entire Monday at uni just sitting there, just waiting for that trailer.
Yeah, it didn't come out. And I was like, late.
I know. I was like, what the heck is it? And it came out. I was like, it was worth the wait. It was sick.
Yeah.
And I know I usually get overhyped for Arrow trailers all the time, like I usually do. Because I remember I got so hyped for Season 6's trailer, and it ended up being nothing like the actual season. But
that was a really good trailer, to be fair.
Yeah, but this trailer, man, this trailer is it's fire.
Fire, like the fire coming out of Diaz's flamethrower.
Oh, that was bad.
That's such a sick shot. Just Diaz firing like a handheld. It's like Heatwave's gun, but a lot more realistic.
Yeah,
I can't really wait. Cool.
I can't wait. And just the opening shot of that prison was just like.
Yeah,
that just set it off immediately. It looks awesome. I mean, obviously it's CGI because there's no way that place actually exists. But it's just so cool. I'm really interested. I'm actually most interested with Oliver's story in prison rather than everybody else outside. That's what I find so strange.
Yeah,
because it was probably the other way around when I first looked at it, but now it's just like I can't wait.
I think it's just because it's gonna be so different because Oliver is kind of like the flashbacks again. In the sense that we're going to be flashing back to Oliver, but not flashing back, but going
like a more brutal Oliver, yeah,
like a more brutal Oliver who's also going to be stuck in one location, isolated. So it's like the island again in a way, and the fact he's going to have to be interacting with all these villains who he's put in the past, like with Brick, Stardust, and Bronze Tiger, and there's also that mystery character who
Josh Tagara. It's Josh Tagara. He's coming back, lads. He's still alive.
I really hope that's true, but it won't be.
No, it will be.
Let's just give Oliver another hallucination sequence so we can have Adrian show up again. But I mean, should we discuss the theory that just kind of
Yeah, let's just discuss it now. Yeah.
The theory that Roy Harper is actually in prison with Oliver. This is interesting.
I think it could happen.
Yeah,
but it's weird because of how late this is submerged. Because I would have thought people would have thought this out earlier, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because all the writers and Stephen Amell, all they keep saying is that Roy's story is unpredictable. Nobody's guessed it yet. And obviously we all assume he's this copycat Archer, this copycat Green Arrow. But that is obviously the most obvious option, because when you look at all of the cast members from Arrow, throughout the past 6 years, who is the most likely to take up the mantle? It's Roy. So if it's not going to be him, then he could be in prison. He could be this mystery character, because Beth Schwartz, who first brought up this mystery character thing, she never specified that this was a villain, which I think is what we all went to originally. She never said it was a villain. So it's interesting, and obviously a character that Oliver never thought he'd see again. Now, would he think he would? I'm pretty sure he would have thought he would have seen Roy again.
I think it's more the way she meant it, as in I don't think he thought maybe it means she never thought he'd see. Well, pardon me. He would never think he'd see him again in prison. Maybe that's what they mean by that. Not so much they never thought he'd see them again, but I think under the circumstances. I think if she means it in that way, then I think it very well could be about Roy, because I definitely don't think Oliver would have expected Roy to go to prison, especially since he basically saved him from taking the fall of being the Arrow because he owned up to it in court and in the announcement video of the FBI. So
yeah.
Like, I think it'd be really cool to see. It'd just be awesome to just have the Green Arrow and the Red Arrow just fighting like together in prison. Awesome. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah, it'd be a really interesting way to bring in Colton Haynes, because as well, one thing that Colton Haynes said at a recent Heroes and Villains is that they're not allowing him to shave.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a weird thing to announce.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, Roy's never had a beard on the show. You know, we've never seen him have facial hair before, so why would this happen, and why is he not allowed to shave? So if he's in prison, that would make a lot of sense. And also, this adds a lot of evidence to the question about why is he not with Thea?
Yeah.
Which is a big thing, because obviously Willa Holland, she's not coming back next season, or at least she won't be. I mean, I think she will come back for an episode next season. I do believe that, but she's not going to be a main cast member. So why is Roy coming back and not Thea? It would make sense if he's in prison, and you know that makes a lot of sense. Now, why Roy would be in prison, I don't know. That's my only thing, because obviously, I'm pretty sure to the public of Star City he's dead.
Yeah, they've never actually. I'm surprised no one's actually turned around and been like, when Oliver made that speech or the thing in court, no one just turned around and said, wait, Roy Harper's alive?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think when Oliver said, you know, Roy Harper's not the Green Arrow, I think he was, you know, I still think people are just like, oh, he's still dead. It's just, you know.
But what about that court? What about the official guy in episode 15 when he's like, we have a witness who could testify against Oliver. Who's
true.
your witness? Yeah. Roy.
Yeah,
so, like, clearly people know that he's alive, but it's like, how could they consider that evidence? Because Roy Harper is dead to the world.
I think this whole Roy Harper being dead thing is a bit of a plot hole for some characters. But yeah, that's the only thing. If Roy is in prison with Oliver, it's just how is he in prison? Because, you know, it's not even like they could, if Roy was on the run, they can't even arrest him because, again, he's innocent. Unless they kind of realised that he was Arsenal, I suppose. I guess they could do that. But again, that would be a bit of a weird grave to dig up. So yeah, I really like the theory. I think that's a really good theory. But then this also leads me into another question is, if he's not the Green Arrow, then who the hell is?
Kermit Rhodes.
That'd be interesting, but the only thing is, looking at the physique of the person, it doesn't look like a female.
Well, we never know. We never know. They might be wearing padding.
Could be Renee.
It could... Why are you so desperate for it to be Renee?
I just seen that theory and I thought it was really interesting.
Mate, we've seen him suit up in the trailer. Saw him suit up.
What about if that's the same guy?
Nah, they ain't gonna deny us the OG Hoss costume and not have Hoss in there.
That's a good point, though. Yeah, in this trailer, you do see Wild Dog in his old suit. Because obviously, I mean, I don't know where his new suit would be. Because did the FBI take it? I don't know. Oh, that's also another point. Hoss is now working for the FBI. What's that all about?
That threw me off guard because I didn't notice that until like the second watch through the trailer. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because he gets into a fight with Diaz and he's wearing an FBI jacket. And he's with Samandra Watson, so she's coming back as well.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think she'd come back. Considering
I was seeing it a while back, but
because she was so absent for like most of last season, and she just showed up at the finale. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm interested with that, and because then that explains why Renee was at like that little deal thing with all them criminals because
undercover.
Yeah, because it explains because he's undercover for the FBI.
I will honestly say,
I'm actually really excited for that. Like, I'm just more impressed that I'll actually like Renee, considering how much I hated him during like the middle of season 6.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, other than Oliver, I think Renee is the most interesting character next season. I think there's so much stuff that teasing going on with him. Like, there's the thing where he's training the kids as well, and now he's apparently working for the FBI, and now we see him in his old costume and stuff. So if that is him, so. I think Renee's actually got a lot going on next season. He seems to be quite interesting. So, and I like the fact he's working for the FBI because obviously he did team up with Samandra Watson last season. Them two kind of got to know each other quite well, especially in the finale. They seem to be doing quite well. So I feel like she would kind of accept him on, especially because he was in the military. He was a military man. Obviously, he was dishonorably discharged. So he has got a history there. So I feel like it's a really good play actually to put Renee on the FBI, and I think that's interesting. Curtis, we finally get to see Curtis. After seeing nothing of him in any of like the promo stuff. Now he is no longer a vigilante. He only really gets one line in the trailer where he says, "My days as being a vigilante were over the day Oliver went to prison." So it seems like
he's actually speaking about him as a character.
He's clearly doing something techie, as you would expect. He seems to be at some kind of like tech conference in that one shot.
Yeah.
Also, he's shaved his head now. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, he's actually shaved his head.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got rid of the afro, so
I thought he had a bubble. I thought he had a bubble on the back of his head. That's why.
it might be. But I know his hair is significantly shorter because I know that Curtis or Echo Kellum actually shaved his head recently, like or cut his hair, so he doesn't have the afro anymore.
Oh no.
But I mean, I guess maybe they're super proofing this for when he does eventually suit up again, so he doesn't have to put his hair into cornrows every single time.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. But yeah, I think that's interesting again, seeing that Curtis is obviously doing his own thing. I wonder if that's Helix.
Could be, but I'd rather stay away from Helix after last season.
We'll have to see what happens. Felicity gets some awful line delivery, but
Oh man, that was they were the only two bad parts of the trailer were her lines like about the longbow hunters and then about oh my god, like here's the thing, Emily Bett Rickards, from what I've seen of it, is a really nice person. She probably is a really nice person. But like whenever you give her anything dramatic to act with, she is so awful.
Yeah,
it's like
what it sounded like. It sounds like when someone's voice breaks.
Yeah,
That's what it sounded like.
That's what I'm about to say. Like it sounds like her voice is breaking anytime she tries to like show emotion. It's not like powerful acting. It's just unintentionally funny and awful.
Yeah, I mean it's a good line, but it's just like yeah, she kind of it's like in the crossover when she had that.
Oh, don't get me
no. Like that because that's again that was a really good line she had. That's like a really good kind of typical comic booky line, but she completely botched it. They completely ruined that moment. But
people are like she should be nominated for Emmys.
I mean, like I said, we're sure Emily Bett Rickards is a lovely person. I'm going to try and meet her next year at Heroes and Villains if I can. I missed out on her this year, but and I like Felicity as a character. She's definitely been getting better since season 5. Sort of slowly getting better as a character after the season 4 dip. So
what about this season 6 dip? She dipped in season 6.
You think so? I thought she was okay in season 6.
She did. The fucking mid-season finale.
I thought she was okay in season 6.
11 minutes of a wedding reception.
Yeah, but you get to see Hoss dancing. How is that bad?
I don't care about Hoss dancing.
You love that clip I sent you. Don't even lie. I need to turn that into a GIF. I'm gonna get a GIF maker and I'm gonna turn that into a GIF.
Oh my!
And that you'll just see me posting it on Twitter all the time. Anyway, moving away from Hoss. One thing you did bring up then, which is interesting, is the Longbow Hunters. We finally got to see them. So these are our potential main villains alongside Diaz for season 7. We've got Red Dart, we got Kodiak, and we got Silencer. We've got decent looks at all of them. Kodiak is significantly changed from the comics, but I mean that was expected.
Yeah.
If you've seen him from the comics, you'll know what we mean. But he has this pretty big shield which he seems to fight with, and he's a pretty big guy. Like the actor who they've got is massive. Like, and I mean like tall. He's huge.
I thought you meant it as in a wide.
No, he's not. He's not a wide boy.
Just a wide boy.
Just a wide boy getting on an arrow. But he is very, very tall. And then we got Silencer, who I think we got the least of her. She was kind of hard to see in her shot. It was kind of difficult to make out sort of her character and like her outfit and stuff. But she is like a master of stealth, and you can see in that one shot she is like surrounded by like a load of bodies, which she's obviously taken out. And then Red Dart, I loved. She looked awesome. Like that.
Yeah, I thought the costume looked pretty good. Yeah.
The red glasses with the lens. It's very comic accurate. And she has the little wrist dart, which is really cool. Which is very like a Nightwing thing. That's really cool. I loved the Longbow. I'm really excited about the Longbow Hunters now, because I was kind of a bit weird on them at first because I was trying to see how they're going to do this, especially because they've changed them from the comics, like the roster, the lineup, except for Red Dart. She's the only one. So I was interested to see if they were going to change it even more, but I think they look really cool. I think they've grounded them in a cool way, and the fact obviously they're teaming up with Diaz is sick.
Yeah. I think because of the fact we've got to see them, I think a lot of people just seem to have like lightened up to them more as villains. Cause I guess it's harder when you haven't seen them, because when you only hear them through word of mouth, it's a bit like, I don't know how it'll work. But now that I've seen them on screen, it's like I'm a bit more confident that they'll be like memorable villains, unlike Caden James.
Yeah, because obviously they were obviously name dropped at the end of the season 6 and the finale a couple times, and it was cool when you heard the name Longbow Hunters and stuff like that, because obviously if you know the comics, you know the characters, but yeah, it was difficult to kind of picture them and how they were going to do them on Arrow, but I really like this look. The only thing is that they seem like a weird kind of ragtag group to me, which is weird given that Oliver described them as a group of assassins that the League are even afraid of. And I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not having a league or afraid of these guys. I'm not having that. Like, I'm not having that Ra's al Ghul would not take on one of these. But anyway.
Yeah, he wouldn't take on a random guy with a shield. Wow.
Yeah. Like, they don't strike me as these, super mythic, ethic, elite
No.
assassins. But whatever, we'll see how much damage they do. Maybe they'll kill like all the Team Arrow, and then I'll have to eat my words. But really impressive. I really like this trailer a lot. Got me very hyped. I can't stop watching it. And it's just got me so hyped for Monday. So let's just roll onto it, please.
Yeah, I can't. Just don't let us down, please, Arrow. Just don't.
Yeah. It was actually funny because I actually watched the season 4 trailer the other day. It's actually quite good.
No,
It is.
it's awful.
The season 4 trailer is quite good. I won't lie.
No, it wasn't.
It is. It's
I was one of the few people proclaiming that it wasn't good, and I was right. I was right about the whole season.
Right, before we get you triggered on season 4, we'll swiftly move on to something that you also might get triggered by, which is that we got our first look at Ruby Rose as Batwoman. Now, it won't trigger you
Bad
to
actress.
look, but yeah, the actress. But I will say, let's just put all that aside for now.
I can't though because she's in the costume.
We've already expressed our opinion many times about Ruby Rose. She's a terrible actress and she shouldn't have been cast. But other than that, this suit looks epic. So good, I think. I was so impressed with this.
Yeah, it looks really good, really. Especially like for CW wise. I think this probably might be my joint favourite costume alongside the Flash Season 4's, to be honest. Like, it's just, they got everything like so spot on. And just like I said, for a TV show, like on TV budget, like it looks really good. I mean, obviously, we still have to see it in live action because there's the chance, obviously, with a photo, you can edit it and tweak parts of it. But based on the photo, it looks awesome and it looks very good. It's just a shame of the person who's underneath the cowl.
Yeah. That was the thing for me. When I first saw this, I was really impressed, but I couldn't help but think it's Ruby Rose. I don't want to trash on Ruby Rose so much. It's just I was so let down by that casting, like especially because when they first said they were doing Batwoman in the crossover, she was getting her own series. I was so excited, and then any excitement I had was lost when they announced the casting. But I just think that for me, taking all that away from it, this is a really good looking suit.
Yeah, it's very good looking. The thing is like I've seen people playing online about it, like especially like Angry Joe having to go at it like, oh, there are parts of the suit that don't look good, and I've seen other people say it as well. It's just like, well, it's the CW. It's not like a premium network place that has like mega budgets. Like for what budget they'll probably have for the costumes, this is honestly really good. I mean, obviously it's expected if the character might have her own series, which she probably will do. Like, I can't imagine them casting someone like Ruby Rose and then just turn around and be like, oh no, we're not having a series with her. Like, so I could get why obviously they probably put a bit more money into it, but like, yeah, the suit just looks awesome. I just can't wait to see how it'll look in the crossover. I imagine we probably won't see anything of it live action until probably we get the first like mini teaser for the crossover, but can't wait for it.
Yeah, when do you reckon we'll get that? I reckon it'll probably be like next month, maybe early December-ish. We'll have to see how it goes. Probably late November, I reckon we'll get it. But yeah, I think this suit looks awesome. I think the cape looks really cool. It's like a really interesting color scheme, which I like. The kind of way it fades into red at the bottom's interesting. The Bat logo itself looks awesome.
Yeah.
The actual suit material is very similar to the material they've used on the new Flash costume. We'll talk about that Flash costume. The wig is interesting because obviously that's not Ruby Rose's natural hair, which is in line with the comics.
Yeah, I just hope the wig doesn't look like really goofy on screen. That's the only bit I'm a bit iffy about.
Bad there, but hopefully, yeah. I mean, these images can be edited, so you have to kind of be wary with that. What I love most about this suit is the cowl. I love that cowl. That looks insane. Especially, a lot of people have compared it to Nolan, like the Nolan arc Batman movies. And yeah, I can definitely see that the way the ears are very tall and pointed is very Nolan-esque. But I never expected them to do anything like that because that really covers up her face quite a lot, which they don't tend to do. So that's quite interesting. But it looks really good. Like, it looks like a really well-made suit. Like I say, for the CW, which doesn't normally get these big budgets and doesn't have the resources necessarily to make these amazing-looking suits. Although I think their suits are good for the most part. There are a couple of duff ones, but I think this is probably one of their best looking ones they've ever made. It looks stunning. How it actually comes across in the episodes, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm impressed with this. Also, what's interesting is Wayne Enterprises is in the background. You do get to see that. So
yeah, I didn't notice it the first time because I only saw it on the Elseworlds bit, like you know, for the Elseworlds teaser. But I didn't notice it for the Batwoman one. I don't think it's until someone pointed it out to me. Because whereabouts is it? Because I can't even see it. But that's just probably me being lazy.
It's just behind her on her left shoulder.
See, I told you I don't spot these things.
And
I'm really lazy.
Bat signal is in there as well. I won't lie to you though. I saw this image before it got officially released earlier that day.
I think I did as well, but it was like I only saw it for a split second and it got taken down.
Yeah, I saw like one copy of it like floating around on Twitter, and I was like, and I thought it was fake. And like when they actually released it, I saw people like sharing it, and I thought, you know, it was just people finally copping onto this image that they found. And I thought it was fake until I actually saw the CW come out with it, and I was like, oh. And I didn't quite know how to approach it at first, because to me this doesn't look like a typical CW promo photo, because the way they've done it, it's very dark and it's very gloomy. But obviously this is supposed to be Gotham, I suppose. But yeah, I think this is a really good costume. I can't wait to see how they adapt it and how it actually looks in live action. Still a shame that they've got a very bad actress under the cowl, but
yeah,
what can we do?
Come on, guys, save Lily Simmons from The Purge and recast her as Batwoman,
and just bring on the Elseworlds crossover. I'm ready for it now. Also, what's interesting is I will say about Elseworlds is that it seems like everyone's involved, because I don't know if you've seen this, but literally all the cast members from all the shows are tweeting about it. Like they're all like saying how they're like Hartley Sawyer was tweeting about it earlier. I just saw Echo Kellum tweeting about it just now. It's like all like cast members who aren't typically involved with the crossovers, or at least not as heavily, seem to be involved in it. So that's insane, especially because I guess maybe they have more wiggle room because the legends aren't in it, but yeah, because like Ralph wasn't in the crossover last year.
Yeah,
even though he had his powers by that point. But
I'm just interested to see what direction they go with it, just because of the whole Elf title. It's really got me like interested for what direction they're going to take it in.
Yeah, but like what is their version of Elseworlds? What does that mean?
And like, is it even like Elseworlds in the comics, or is it just like a play on the Elseworlds name? I got no idea, but I'm just intrigued to hear more about it.
By the way people are talking about it, I think this might genuinely be an Elseworlds story. I think this might be something completely random and completely different. But then that does worry me, because then it's like, does that mean that Batwoman is going to be its Elseworlds?
Yeah, because then that would confuse things, and then it's like with the characters going into it, they're not the same characters that we know. So I feel like I said, some of that attachment that we've built with these characters might not be there, which I think is something else that could hurt it as well. Because if they end up like killing off the characters on screen, it'd be like, well, it doesn't matter because this is a completely different character to I've seen before. And so I don't know. It's like I said, it's why I'm interested about it, but I'm not like ultra hyped for it.
I'm more interested than I am excited.
Yeah.
And also because the legends aren't in it. Like, I'm so disappointed the legends aren't in it this year. Especially because I've said this many times, but the fact that Constantine isn't going to be there to, like, you know, interact with, you know, to meet back up with Oliver again, and to see him interact with other characters as well. I think it's a real shame. And, you know, I always enjoy Sarah being in the crossovers, because, again, when she gets to meet up with Oliver again, it's really cool. And maybe she should meet up with Black Siren. I don't know if Katie Cassidy is in the crossover.
I think she is. They better be. So. She better be. She should have been in last year's. But
yeah, I'd hope so. But we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, we'll now move over to our review. And this is going to be for The Flash, Season 5, Episode 1, which is entitled Nora. This is the season premiere for The Flash Season 5. We finally made it. The shows are starting to come back now. So over the next couple of weeks, when all the shows officially come back, we are going to start reviewing them in our usual format like we used to before the big break. So before we dive into it, overall thoughts?
I'm going to be quite honest. I think this is probably better than even the best episode of Season 4, in my opinion, which was Flash Time. I agree. Like, and that's weird, because I didn't expect that from a premiere.
No.
But, like, honestly, like, this is legitimately the best episode of The Flash since, I want to say, what was it, episode 22, Season 3?
Yeah.
Because that was a great episode, and, like, it's weird that within the first episode of the new season, it automatically beats every other episode from the previous one. I mean, like, I don't know. They just got everything right. Yeah. Everything right. It was such a great...
literally, they got everything right. Like, they literally... This is what Season 4 tried to do.
Yeah.
It failed. Season 4, they said, right, we're going to go back to that Season 1 tone. and
But
then
you
they
didn't.
went way too far. They got to the line and they crossed it. Here, this is the season 1 tone. This is what season 1 was, where you have the lightheartedness, you have the emotion, but you still have the heart there, and there's still, the drama that actually feels real. That's what this episode was, and it worked so well because of it. And I think, one thing I will talk about is, that kind of represents this so well, I think, is Ralph. I think Ralph was absolutely nailed in this episode.
Yeah, they nailed. This was the best version of Ralph, in my opinion.
This was the best
like,
Ralph episode we've ever seen. He was, because he was funny when he needed to be. He had his jokes, like the whole multiverse thing where he discovers the multiverse was really funny. But then, he has his serious moments. He's there, I like the scene where he comes in and he's because we even see him in this doing some detective work.
Yeah,
he's been promised, and he even digs up, Caitlin's father's death certificate, and he does this whole thing. Like, they nailed Ralph so well. I think this is the best you'll ever see Ralph, and I really hope they continue this because, again, it's perfect. And like I said, that Manyverse joke is so funny.
Oh, Ralph's lines were just so good, and like, what was it? The other ones where it's like mentioned about, what was it, Eddie Thorne? It was like, well, if you want to stop it from existing, shouldn't you have just had a vasectomy?
Yeah.
Like, and then wasn't there the other one as well where it was like, wasn't it about like alternate timelines, and he mentions the fact that they referenced him dead in season 1. I really liked that one.
That was like really funny. Like I actually like laughed out loud when I heard that, when he said, "Oh yeah, it could create a timeline where I died in the particle accelerator," which is almost like a wink to camera moment. That was really funny, and I love the moment as well where he discovers about the alternate Earths, and then Caitlin's like, "When we said Harry was from Earth too, what did you think we meant?" He's like, "He was from Earth also." Like, that was a really good line, because when you think about it, Ralph has never been around for the time travel stuff or the different universe stuff. Like, he came in last season, and last season didn't really deal with much of that kind of stuff, so he wasn't really there for it. So it does make sense. Like, I never thought about it, because when he first started talking about it, I was like, surely Ralph would know about all this stuff. But then I was like, to be fair, he wouldn't have done.
Because like season 4 had barely anything like related to time travel and multiverse, so
yeah,
it
and there
makes
were obviously
sense.
multiverse characters in it, but they were already been established before. Like, Gypsy was in season 3, and obviously Harry was in season 2, so we all knew about this. So that was really interesting and very funny on Ralph's part. But yeah, I think this was the perfect start for this season. I think it really put it off to a good footing. And it's got me really excited for the rest of the season, I won't lie. But let's dive into it. So let's start off with, obviously, the main talking point, which is Nora. Jessica Parker Kennedy, I think, is fantastic in this role.
Yeah.
Really good. She just comes across as being really innocent, really joyous, really just obsessed with her dad, being the Flash.
Yeah.
She's finally seeing him, and we'll get onto the reveal later, but I thought she was really good.
Yeah, I think she nailed it, like, playing, Baron Iris's daughter. Like, you just believed instantly, even within, like, because this was obviously the first full episode we have of her, but within that episode, I fully brought that she was their daughter, and it's really good to do that automatically within one episode, and just, like, she was so energetic, and, like, you felt sorry for her character because of what we find out later on and all that sort of stuff, but just overall, the way that they worked her character so well and to, like, introduce her properly in this episode, I think they did a great job of it, and I think they also did a really good job of setting up what they're going to do with her, with the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Jessica Parker Kennedy, she's really, really good in this role, and I'm really excited to see what they'll do with her this season, especially because of the dynamic that she'll bring between Barry and Iris, because we saw that a little bit in this episode. The way that she looks at both of them is a bit different to one another, but I'm really, really, really happy with what they did with her.
Yeah, I thought she was just outstanding, like, just in the way that she did interact with everybody, because in her future, obviously, she knows everyone. Like, when Cisco kind of makes the joke, and she's like, "Oh yeah, there you go, Cisco," always there breaking up the tension and things like that. And she name drops the Flash Museum. She also she just name drops Lightning Lad out of nowhere, which I found really interesting. Which is really weird, because obviously Lightning Lad is a Legion of Superheroes character, and the Legion of Superheroes, do they exist on Earth 1? Obviously they exist on Earth 38, but do they exist?
Remember when we all thought Lightning Lad was going to be on Supergirl season 3, and that never happened? Amy Jackson, you lied to us.
Yeah. Let's not talk about Supergirl season 3 anymore. Let's move on from that. But yeah, she was really good, and I think we get to find out the origin of XS as well. I want to know how that's spelt, because the way she says XS is in, is in EX, blah, blah, blah. I really want to see how that's spelt instead of, it's actually not spelt XS like it is in the comics. So I'll have to see how, well, I mean, I think I'm looking way too much into that anyway.
You're definitely looking way too deep into this.
Yeah, that's what I do with these things. Her suit was great. I love the costume. I think it looks really good, because it's a very different looking speedster suit than what we're used to, because normally with speedsters they have cowls and she doesn't, but I guess Iris didn't when she was a speedster. But yeah, and obviously she's the perfect combination of Barry and Iris as a speedster, and she's definitely believable as their daughter, 100% believable, and I thought she was awesome. Now the relationship between her and Barry is obviously very fun. It's really innocent, she's just really trying hard to impress her dad and to kind of be like him and spend as much time with him as possible. But did you feel really bad for Iris in this episode?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Especially with how much I hated her last season. But no. They definitely set the seeds there for the fact that clearly, the relationship between, Nora and Iris isn't the best in the future.
Yeah,
so I think that's a good way to. Yeah, I imagine they'll probably save that for an episode later on, whether we get that next episode or sometime before the mid-season finale. But I'm very interested to see what that relationship is like and why it's at that state and how it got to there.
Yeah, because Iris was trying so hard, and Nora was just giving nothing back. And I felt weird because Iris was because you could see how enthusiastic. Because Candice Patton's such a good actress. I don't think she gets the credit she deserves sometimes.
She's a good actress. She's just given shit material to work with
exactly.
sometimes.
And, but I think this was actually one of her best episodes in a while. And she's there. She's really enthusiastic about trying to get to know her daughter. She wants that mother-daughter bond. And there's clearly something there that Nora knows about, and she's just like, I'm not the biggest fan of you. Every time everyone kind of leaves, she's left with Iris, and you can see she's always. There's a scene when Gridlock attacks again the second time, and they all leave, and Iris puts a hand on her shoulder to stay here, and Nora looks at Iris oh, for God's sake. I felt bad for Iris, I really did, but I think Candice Patton really sold it.
Yeah.
Another character I want to talk about, who I think probably had his best episode in a long time, at least on The Flash, is Wally.
Yeah, I mean...
Still underused, but he was...
Still underused, definitely. But he was alright. I mean, they had that scene with him, near the end with Joe.
That was really good. That was
a good scene. I think that's very much setting up for him leaving, definitely. That's why we know
he's got 3 episodes this season, this being one of them, so he's got 2 more. I reckon it'll be obviously episode 100, although he hasn't been seen on set, but I think he will be there, and then probably someone towards the end. That'll be that. But yeah, I thought that was a great scene. I think honestly, a lot of the more, I said this in my review, a lot of the more quieter moments, the conversations, I think are some of the highlights of this episode.
Yeah,
that scene in particular, which is then followed up by the Barry and Iris conversation. There's also the conversation between Barry and Iris where Barry's talking about how his entire life's been out of order. I think that was a really good scene.
Yeah,
they talk about how he said that having a kid was the one thing he really wanted to be normal, and now all of a sudden his daughter, who's the same age as him, shows up. And that was a really good point, and that kind of leads into the reveal. So I guess we could do the reveal now.
Yeah.
So obviously we knew about the Flash missing, vanishes in crisis. Obviously we've known about that since season 1, and we finally get a bit of expansion on that. Turns out 25 years after that, in 2049, like Blade Runner, he is still missing. That's what
I thought when I was watching that. Yeah. No Blade Runner references though, which I'm disappointed by.
We got a Terminator and a Back to the Future reference, but that's about it. But yeah, in 2049, Barry's still missing, which is insane. I didn't really expect that to happen at all. So for 25 years, Barry's gone, and you have to kind of, the way Nora is kind of talking about it is you have to kind of put this as Nora was born a couple of years before he went missing, so she doesn't have any memories of Barry, and then I guess she's from 2049 because she says she never came back.
Yeah, I imagine she probably is from 2049.
So that gives you a good idea of where she's from. But I have to say, Grant Gustin's performance in this episode, absolutely fantastic. As soon as he finds out this, because he was saying how he was so worried about not being there for the firsts in Nora's life, he wasn't there at all, which is really heartbreaking. And just seeing his performance was really good. I think that this scene, again, it adds a lot more mystery because we have to see what actually happens. And I feel like this is obviously going to be a big thing this season, and especially for Nora, is going to be preventing this. And I'm not going to lie, this is not how I thought this storyline was going to come into play.
No, because in a way, it's kind of like two-way, like helping each other. Because Barry is now going to help Nora, get used to her, super speed abilities, to become a better speedster. Whilst Nora at the same time, obviously, is going to try and find a way to make sure like that event in 2024 doesn't happen. And it's really interesting. It's very like curious storyline to go with. It's kind of in a way similar to season 3's in the way that they're basically trying to save the future.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a play on that.
Because I wasn't expecting this storyline to come in much later on. Like I thought it was going to come in, a lot later season of the Flash and maybe have something to do with Reverse Flash.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
I thought this has got to be something to do with Reverse Flash, but I guess not. Obviously this might not be it. I'm spitballing here, but I think what's interesting as well is I don't know if you know this, but in the news article, in the new one,
they reference Batwoman.
They reference Batwoman, so that's something. So yeah, I guess this is Nora, because Nora's saying that she's trying to prevent what happens. Like she even says that at the end of the episode, because she gets the monologue here. Like the episode opens up with "My name's Nora Allen," blah 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 blah, or Nora West Allen. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. The fact they are taking this storyline in this direction, because I didn't expect it at all. There is the theory out there that obviously Reverse Flash is Nora Allen, which is funny because obviously Eobard Thawne did say in the crossover that I wonder what face I'll be wearing next time we meet. I just don't see that personally. I do think this is Nora.
It's in my mind now.
Yeah,
this is twisting my mind.
It would be a good twist if they came out and it's just I don't know, like maybe Tom Cavanaugh rips off the face.
Oh god. Maybe that's how he gets reintroduced this season, because we know he's coming in.
Yeah. Well, we got that Sherlock Wells later to come. I think we get him in like episode 3 or 4, somewhere around there. So we'll see him in a couple of weeks. But yeah, that was a good reveal though. I think it was an excellent reveal, and again, I think Grant Gustin nailed it with his performance.
Yeah. Speaking of Wells though, that whole action sequence on the plane.
The plane.
Oh, the plane
Honestly,
was awesome.
One of the best action sequences the Flash has ever done. I'm saying that.
Yes.
Right now. So well done. Because obviously that's a good one from the comics, is when the plane phases through the bridge. And again, it gives Wally something to do. We actually get to see Wally suit up as Kid Flash, which is great. And all three of them go up there to phase this plane, and what an excellent moment that is. Yeah,
it's like, and then the use of like what Eobard Thawne taught Barry, when he first phased through something. Oh, that gave me chills. That did. I was like, oh damn, this is serious.
Yeah. Like, because Nora is struggling. She tells Barry, she's quite bad at being a speedster. She's not actually learned how to phase yet, which is obviously kind of like a simple, kind of rudimentary thing that a speedster can do. Like Barry learned that pretty early on, but it is quite a difficult thing to master. So like, he kind of brings her and Wally up onto this plane to try and stop it from going through the buildings, and he does that talk, and he recites the lines that Harrison Wells or Eobard Thawne said to him back in season 1. And they even show the clips of Eobard Thawne saying it. Such an excellent moment. Like, I was floored. It was just so nice seeing Harrison Wells again. And just the fact that he was using that mentorship on his own daughter was really nice.
Yeah.
Great moment. Like I say, one of the best action sequences I think the Flash has ever done. I think it's stunning.
This whole episode is just filled with great moments. Just like... It really is. I can't even think of like any like proper negatives about it, other than really the reasoning as to like how Nora stuck there. That was the only thing, and I know others have said it as well, that was the only thing that slightly irritated me, but it's the kind of thing that I hope that the show will answer, and then when it does that, then I can't really see that being a criticism. But at the moment in time, it is something that like confuses me a little bit, just because it kind of doesn't make sense.
My only other negative, and it's a bit of a weird one, is the Cecile thing with the powers.
Yeah, there's a Cecile thing as well.
That's a bit weird. The fact that obviously she's like, oh, I've still got my powers, because she read Jenna's mind that she's hungry, which doesn't actually make sense because babies don't formulate thoughts like that.
Yeah, and also I thought her thoughts were gone, and it kind of negates the ending of season 4 where they had to like use Cecile to stop DeVoe because she would lose her powers if she gave birth, but she still has them now. Yeah. So that was all irrelevant.
It was really weird. But anyway, I don't think they're going to play on that too much. I don't. I hope they don't, at least.
I hope they don't reference it ever again. Or they
No.
just, I don't know. Just
So,
don't bother.
should we discuss the new suit?
We're going to have to, aren't we? It's like one of the biggest talking points.
I mean, this is kind of like the crescendo of what we've been doing for the past few weeks, where it seems like every week we were discussing another new look at the suit. And now we actually finally have the official in-episode look at it. I liked it in this episode. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a bit more, but I guess it's because he moved around so much that I couldn't focus on the awful part, which is basically above the shoulders. So I probably couldn't focus on that as much. But I mean, like you said, I liked it. I don't love it like I do with the season 4 suit. Season 4 suit is still easily my favorite by far. But I don't know. Maybe this suit will grow on me. But at the moment, I'm open to it. But definitely didn't blow me away.
No. I think it, like, there are some moments of it that looks really cool. It's the helmet. Like, in that plane sequence, the only thing that was distracting me was that helmet. It looks wrong. But I think, like, you know, the body pieces, like, there's some, like, really nice, like, shiny parts on it that look really cool. And for the most part, it looks awesome.
The helmet when he vibrates.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But, oh my god, the flash ring. Oh my god, that was amazing. We've seen the flash ring animation before when Eobard Thawne did it in season 1. But seeing Barry do it, seeing the suit come out and then him jump into it, oh my god, that was amazing. That was like a true fanboy moment.
Yeah.
I was sat there in work watching it, like, rocking back and forth in my chair, just like, because I just in the flash ring.
I want to know how much of the budget of the whole season they wasted on that one shot, but it was so worth it.
Yeah, I guarantee we won't see that many times.
We'll probably only see it then, the 100th episode in the finale, calling it now.
Yeah. But I mean, if we do only see it those times, I don't even care, because that was amazing. I was so impressed.
It was awesome.
Do you know what my favorite thing about the suit though? It was made by Ryan Choi. That's another amazing name drop.
That was a really, really good Easter egg. Yeah. It was funny because it's just like you have like Sisko just saying, "Oh, did I make that?" So, oh no, it's Ryan Choi actually.
Yeah, and I love the fact that no one's kind of like, "Oh, who's that?" But like. I mean, they've named up Ryan Choi, so he's in the Arrowverse at some point in the future. If you don't know who that is, he takes up the mantle of the Atom after Ray Palmer. I've been hoping for a name drop of him for a while. I'm surprised it was the Flash we got it on, but
yeah, I would have thought Legends easily.
And I thought even Arrow was more likely, but yeah, that's really interesting. But I just got really excited when I heard that. Like I say, Nora got 2 really good name drops here. She got Lightning Lad and then Ryan Choi. I thought that was awesome. So the fact that he made that suit, I think, is awesome. That's a really cool Easter egg. Whether we'll actually see Ryan Choi at any point in the Arrowverse is a different question. I doubt it, but it'd be cool. Should we talk about Cicada? We got the little tease at the end for Cicada.
Yeah. We didn't get a full look at him completely, but we got to see that snazzy lightning dagger that he's got in his hand.
What's interesting about that, though, there is if you actually look closely, and I've seen people point this out on Twitter, the handle says Star Labs.
What?
Yeah, the hand. You can see Labs on it. You can see, and it's the Star Labs logo. You can see it.
So are you thinking that he used to work for Star? Maybe he used to work for Star Labs.
Maybe, or he had Star Labs tech. Cicada's Ronnie Rape. No, no. The actor. We know the actor is playing him. But I think that if he was a mystery villain, though, I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past him to do Ronnie Raymond there. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway. That's a tangent. But yeah, the lightning bolt dagger, that was sick. That was really cool. Like the way it glowed, and he used it as like a boomerang. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was like that was like it's really cool. Like they really made really menacing in that final little bit of the episode with that. I can't remember what his name was. What was the villain of this episode?
Gridlock.
Gridlock. Like the just the way that he took him out, it definitely sets him up to be a much like darker and like more scarier antagonist, especially than compared to what we had with DeVoe in season 4.
Yeah.
But in terms of an introduction scene, pretty damn cool. I'd say I preferred it more to DeVoe's because DeVoe's just kind of like turned around in his big chair with that weird thinking cap on, and it's just
DeVoe's
like I'm
just
thinking
put everything on show. Like they kind of just like went, oh, here he is, here's his lair, here's his wife, here's everything. Here's the thinking cap. It's all there. Whereas
they're a bit more restrained. This is way more restrained. Like we don't even see his face, which I think is
he's very much in the dark.
Definitely
he only has like one line. And you get to see his weapon. Like you get to see the dagger. Like say, and if you look closely, there is the Star Labs thing, which adds a bit more intrigue. I think episode 2 is going to dive into Cicada a lot more, which is good. I think we're going to see Barry actually come face to face. Obviously, there's the fight between him and Cisco coming up as well. Potentially Cisco losing his powers, because I think that's what a lot of people are taking the Death of vibe to be now, is Cisco losing his powers. So it's not actually Cisco dying, but it's him losing his vibe powers, which would be interesting. I don't know why they would necessarily do that, but we'll have to see how they do it. But yeah, I think this was a cool introduction to Cicada. Like I say, a lot more restrained than DeVoe. And it has got me intrigued. Especially, I really like his costume. I've seen a lot of people sort of bash his costume.
No, I like the costume.
Yeah, I
to
think
be
it's
honest.
cool because because they're not.
It doesn't feel as over the top as like the ones you've had before, especially like the ones I don't know with Savitar and with DeVoe. You know how like they're so intricate with everything, and they've got like such large bits off them with something a bit more simplistic. I think is. I just offers something different.
Yeah, because
I think just because, like I said, because you've got two very, very like.
Yeah, because it's a bit more like pieced together. It's just like a mishmash of different things. This isn't like a professionally made suit. This is just him going off on his own personal mission, and this is obviously the suit he's kind of given himself. And he has got that breathing apparatus as well, that makes him sound like Darth Vader. He has got that going on, so I don't quite know why he has that. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. I think he was personally affected by something, probably the satellite. We'll have to see, because I'm sure that will come back into play eventually. So, yeah, I think that will maybe explain why he has that breathing thing.
Yeah.
But I thought this was a cool introduction. I liked it. And I think this is a good introduction to Cicada. It's amazing how much I've turned around on him, because like I was really down on the idea of Cicada, like, even before he was cast, even before it was official, when it was like a rumor like ages ago. I was like, nah, don't want Cicada. Doesn't sound too good to me. But I think they're changing him from the comics quite significantly, and it looks cool, so I'll take it.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else from this episode you want to talk about?
The only plot hole I want answering is the whole old Flash suit that he gets back when he gets the season 1 suit. Why is it not the season 2 and 3 suit? Why?
Well, he does get the season 2-3 suit.
Yeah, but it's like no. The badge is different. He's got the red badge on from season 1, not the white badge from season 2 and 3.
Yeah, but they're two separate suits, though.
Yeah, but why does he not give him the other suit? Because I'm pretty sure that they replaced. Like, I know that they said like the Flash only has one suit, and they replaced the red Flash symbol on there with the white one. So how did they get the other one? Like that's what I mean. There isn't a version of the suit with the red Flash logo on. There's only the white one.
Oh, I always took it as there were two suits.
No. I'm pretty sure they said that they'd that it was just the same suit, but they just replaced the color of the Flash logo. I don't know at this point. I'm looking too far deep into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just cool to like see those other suits again. Oh, actually, that's something. When Barry does come in his season 2 to 3 suit, and he's talking about why does it smell so much, and Nora says, "Oh, it's when you fought King Shark," and then she says, "When King Shark and Grodd fight in the future." So this is something that Todd Helbing spoke about at Comic-Con. He was saying that they're planning to do a King Shark Gorilla Grodd fight. So this basically confirms it's going to happen this season.
But that imagine the budget you would have to put into that. Goodness me.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of have faith in them after the Gorilla City thing in season 3, because that was really good. So I have to say I think they can do it. And like King Shark when he shows up in season 3 episode 22. So when you think about it, they've done Gorilla Grodd and King Shark in the same season before. So I feel like they can do it. But that was just a cool little tease, especially because I didn't really expect it, because again, it was something that Todd Helbing teased before, and then they kind of actually brought it up in the episode. I was like, oh my god. And like Cisco's reaction as well. He was like, spoiler alert. that was a good moment. Cisco was actually quite funny in this episode because he was like drunk throughout the entire thing.
Oh yeah.
that was quite funny. Like the way he was just like reacting to everything. Like when Ralph comes past with his ball and he's like loud. and things like that. I thought Cisco was quite funny in this episode. It was interesting, kind of make him drunk after the baby shower thing. But yeah, it was good though. But wow, what a good start to the season. I've seen the episode twice now. I loved it. I thought it was so good.
This might be my favorite like premiere episode of The Flash.
Yeah, I think that's I have to say I really like the season 4 premiere. I thought that was a really good start as well.
Season 4 one?
Yeah, but
Nah. Season 4 we won. Just with the whole situation related with the Speed Force prison.
yeah, I mean, obviously they did kind of resolve that entire thing very quickly, but I just think there was some cool stuff in that episode, like Wally being the main Flash, and then him actually coming out in the Flash costume, Samuroid and stuff. I like that episode. But anyway, yeah, I think this is the best Flash premiere. I really do. I think this was an excellent start. It's really set a good precedent for the season. It's teased a lot of good stuff. Obviously, Nora, which is going to be a huge focal point, is very much a pleasant character and a good addition. They've basically just fixed every mistake they made in season 4 in this one episode, and I'm amazed by that. And I think it's a really good start. I can't wait to see more. I think episode 2 looks really fun. So yeah, bring it on.
Excited, very. Just don't let us down. No. Do an Arrow season 5, please.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how Flash has completely copied Arrow's track record to this point? You know, season 1, season 2 is really good. Season 3 is a bit disappointing. Season 4 is bad. And then season 5 is the resurgence. Like, it's completely copied it season for season. It's insane. Also, we are getting the 100th episode this season, so can't wait for that as well. That's going to be great. So, yeah, great start. And I can't wait to see more. So that is it. We will next week we'll be reviewing a lot more. We have Supergirl returning for season 4. That's on Sunday. That's this Sunday coming up, and then we also have Arrow, of course, returning on Monday, which I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time talking about. And we will also have the Flash season 5 episode 2 as well. Legends comes back the week following, so until then we'll have all 4 shows to review, which is great. And we'll finally be back to our old format. So if you guys want to see some more in-depth Arrowverse reviews, be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. And with all that said, I've been Deck.
I've been Dan.
And we hope to see you guys again next week.
See you.